project and the concept project, and you are awarded fellowships, short-term student fellowships. So first year, for 2 months of your summer break, you can conceptualize that project and standardize some of the techniques what you are going to apply in your research question. And next year, when you are in the second year, you can actually implement those objectives what you want to work on. And in the third year, you can finalize the report outcome of your research. So we have been now, we are giving 60,000 of funding, like 20,000 first year, 20,000 you will get in a second year, and 20,000 once you finish and submit your report. Then in your postgraduate, when you do MD, MS, we also provide over and above what stipend you all receive during your postgraduate studies. We give you the stipend or the fellowship of amount of 1 lakh for doing good medical, MD, MS and EM thesis. And when you submit your thesis and publish, this is to encourage you to publish your work. Do a good research question and publish your work in some PubMed journals with good impact factor. And we give you an amount of 1 lakh for that. So these kinds of fellowships just to encourage and inculcate research aptitude amongst the medical students. And beyond that, as Dr. Pratima Murthy informed, that we have been funding MD, PhD integrated program in different institutes, but most of the institutes, they do not have a integrated MD, PhD program. So we initiated a different category of PhD program for the young medical faculty who are interested in doing research. So the young faculty below age of 45 years, if they want to continue their activity, because they have particularly the clinicians who are working in OPDs or a clinical front on the bedside, they may be experiencing different research questions. They can come back on the bedside and work and evaluate these research questions and again go back to the bedside. So this kind of a translational, encouraging more of a translational research aptitude amongst the young faculty, because they might have not got an opportunity during their previous years to pursue research. So just to encourage them, we are providing a 50 lakh of grant for the young faculties to do research and contribute to the medical research and also continue their research work in their future endeavors. So these kinds of fellowships been offered by Indian Council of Medical Research in the medical for the medical fellows. So then the details of short-term student fellowship, what is the eligibility criteria, what are the requirements, what are the guidelines, how to submit a project, it's all on the online portal, and you are encouraged to submit your research proposal and a kind of a concept note, and we get it evaluated, and then we inform you, those who have qualified. We have realized that when you submit your research proposal or maybe the report, you people forget and to read the guidelines and follow the guidelines, and then you lose the stipend or fellowship whatever you have been given at the end of this research work. So very recently, when we declared the results of 2023 STS fellowship, 256 candidates, they could not qualify to receive this fellowship. Reason was revealing, the reason was the incomplete report or incomplete document, or maybe they have revealed some of the information which suppose they are not supposed to reveal. Just for example, if you are revealing your name of the institute or your guide's name or your name in the body of the report, then you are disqualified. So take care of such important guidelines. I mean, you should be
Guidelines again and again. If you want to mention about
about the college or the institute, you can say that it's a tertiary care institution, or you can say a university medical college, or you can say just the medical.
you should not be revealing, because when we send it for evaluation, these are considered disqualified. So the financial support here provided, as I said, that now the program has been reformed and you have to now conduct your research. You'll get a long period, like 3 years, every summer vacation. You can do this work and do a good research question in during your undergraduate period. So I think I have given the details, the eligibility criteria and the number of fellowships we give. Like previously we used to give only 500 STS fellowships, which has been increased to 1,000, and now from 2024 we are giving 2,000 such fellowships, and probably from next year it is going to be 4,000 STS fellowships we'll be giving. Likewise, for MDMS thesis, here also we have increased the number of fellowships from 50 to 100 to now 200, and soon this will be 400 fellowships, because we are going to give twice a year. So there are 2 terms, twice we will be advertising, putting a call, and once we receive the research thesis topic, we provide them first stipend, and at the end of submission of the report and publication within 6 months or a 1 year's time, because what we have observed, many of the postgraduate students, when they finish their MD/MS, they simply don't bother to publish their research work, and they come back after years, 2 years or 3 years, and the impact factor of journals they publish, because by the time you really want to attain your research work done during your post-graduation, you lose the novelty of your study. So you can't publish it. Then you publish in a very low impact factor journal. So it is better at the same time when you submit your thesis, you should give attention to publishing this work, whatever you do. I have heard many of STS fellows, they do such a good work, and they even go and attend international conferences, and they apply for a travel grant from ICMR. So I'll be giving you details about that grant as well. So here under, as I said, that MD, MS, PhD program, there is an integrated degree program. What we realize, many of the private and government institutions are offering these dual degree program. If you want to pursue your career, because in the period of post-graduation and after post-graduation, in a junior residency, and when you enter in the phase of senior residency, probably in the gap between from junior residency to get a good faculty position or any position in any hospital, you have that gap. You can fill that gap by doing and continuing your research question, which you are doing it for your MD thesis, or you may choose the same continuity of the same topic and do better work by giving 2 more years. So in that 5 years of your tenure of integrated MD PhD thesis, you can achieve PhD degree, and in process you learn to do many research activities, and once you get your role in any hospital or a faculty position in any university, you can continue your research work and continue your endeavors in a biomedical research. So, and here we provide a good grant for young faculty. Once you are joining this program, because MD and during your residency and senior residency, you get your stipend from your hospital or the institution. But post that, you don't get any stipend or anything, but over and above, we give funding for senior residency 10 lakhs per year those who are doing integrated PhD program, a consumable grant to pursue your PhD program. So similarly for young faculty, which is category 2, as I mentioned earlier, that we are encouraging more and more medical young faculty to get into a research mode and do their whatever they are doing in a daily uh, in a hospital settings, they can probably shape up a research question and do some research project, and they'll be given funds to pursue and get a PhD degree. And ICMR has joined MOU with 27 such institutes, and we have very recently, last week only, we have funded 66 young faculties from different medical institutions to pursue PhD. And we are still encouraging many more private and government medical colleges to get into this mode. So non-medical fellowship, this is for those who pursue their career in science and biology and then different paramedical fields of biomedical research. And for them, those who are young researchers after their master's degree, if they want to pursue PhD, they have to appear for a national eligibility test, which is previously known as Junior Research Fellowship and now has been renamed as a BRET, where biomedical research eligibility test, which we conduct once in a year, where they have to appear for, and even the MBBS student freshers can also appear here. Those who don't want to, don't qualify NEET or anything for the postgraduate degree, they can change their path and get into biomedical research through doing MBBS PhD program. And many of the institutes offer MBBS PhD program as well. So here we give you a stipend, and there is a different stipend for medical and non-medical, but we encourage more and more young graduates to enter into PhD program. And many of our leading scientists in the country have also chosen this path to pursue PhD post their undergrad program. So here we give them a stipend and a small amount of contingency, because they have to pursue their career, choose their guide from a research institution and do PhD in their area of interest, identifying researchers in that guide from that field. So also post PhD, we offer the young scientists after PhD, if they are not going overseas for postdoctoral fellowship, they can very well do postdoctoral fellowship in the country, and we give large number of postdoctoral fellowship to young PhD students, post PhD, and they can pursue their career in this field. So similarly, we have short and long-term national fellowship. As I mentioned, that these programs are basically to encourage young faculty or the young researchers to go overseas, or maybe national institutes of importance. If you want to develop such skills, you are allowed to go for a training for 3 years, 6 months, and even 1 year's training you can do and excel the skills in that area, and then come back to your host institutes and pursue and strengthen your local faculty and researchers to do those skills, acquire those skills. So this kind of capacity building activity has been supported short-term, long-term, national and international. So we give international fellowships as well. If you want to go overseas, want to collaborate, acquire some skills from overseas and come back and pursue your research activities here. So this is for that kind of a situation when you can acquire more and more skills and do research in India. So this is, I was talking about non-medical fellowship after PhD. So before getting any job or getting any position in any institution a regular permanent position. So you want to fill that gap, you want some fellowship to pursue your research activities. So you continue your career and uh, pursue your research activities through postdoctoral fellowship. So this postdoctoral fellowship is being funded for large number of candidates. Okay, but this is not moving further. Okay, so regarding DHR ICMR Women Scientist Fellowship. So this is for the women scientist after doing MBBS or maybe doing MD or maybe a science candidate who after PhD they are taking break or after master's degree they probably marry or go family way, so their career gets break and they are not encouraged to come back. So help them to come back and pursue their career. We are encouraging more and more women researchers to pursue their career by providing them grant to do a research question. So they will be pursuing it under the supervisor, and if they get in a due course, if they get a permanent position, they can very well continue doing that work in their host institute. So we have another fellowships, fabulous 2022. These are the awards given for the scientists, researchers for their dissemination of their whatever research they have done or the achievements they have gained in biomedical research. So there are previously we used to give different awards. We have now made it as a fabulous 2022. These are the awards given for the excellence in the biomedical research to 22 candidates, including young candidates. Even we do give for the best paper or best outcome of STS fellowship for the undergraduate students. So we have another grants which are financial support grants. We provide travel grants for young researchers as well as senior faculty. So there are two groups above 35 years and below 35 years, and we receive large applications from our STS fellows, those who have done a good research work and they want to go and present their work in international conferences. So we give them a grant of 1.5 lakhs, which caters to travel, registration, and for their visa fees. So we provide grants, and these are like on roll. You can apply 2 months in advance when you are getting abstract accepted by the international conferences. You can submit that to ICMR and get this grant within a month and 2 months time before proceeding for availing this travel grant. So there are guidelines on ICMR DHR website for all these programs, and you definitely before applying you need to read these guidelines and follow these guidelines strictly so that you can very well avail these opportunities. So in addition to that, DHR ICMR also supports the workshops or training programs by different research institutes, medical colleges. Like I understand for this Demedcon, you have a skill developing workshops tomorrow for the second day of the conferences, and large number of activities been listed in the program. So this is for that purpose, that if anybody who is continuously wants to build a capacity in the region or nationally by providing training, hands-on training, and even lectures by stalwarts or the experts in that field, they get a funding for workshops. So ICMR provides 10 lakh for each workshop. That's the maximum limit for the funding for such skill development programs, and we encourage more and more. So please do disseminate this information and apply for this skill development, even research methodology. Or I have listed few of these areas, but there is no dearth of subjects or areas where you can have this kind of activity. So we support institutional, this is for the modular training program. If you have a continuous activity, yearly training programs, or you want to develop modules because you have a skill sets, you have a critical mass, and you want to develop or disseminate that kind of a skill sets and also want to develop a capacity in particular field, you can even apply for this program. Here you get larger grants for continuous developing capacity building and skill sets in particular, like in epidemiology or in bioethics or statistics, or even all new generation technologies, flow cytometry, gene therapy, different aspects of gene therapy, or maybe clinicians want to build a more and more resources in the country by developing skills, clinical skills, or maybe nursing as well. They can also submit application, and regular modules can be developed into at different stage of training. So ICMR do fund this kind of activities as well. So programs for senior scientists, as I say, the retired scientist or the scientist of working in a very niche area. So we give, they can serve ICMR, serve nation. We give ICMR chairs. Since 1998, we have been giving 7 types of categories are there. There are maximum 10 at one time are supported from ICMR Institute, but the rest of them are open for the nation. So we give a small funding as well as a kind of a honorarium per month for the superannuated researchers, faculty, for continued activities, research activities of their interest, and also contribute to ICMR's endeavors. Similarly, we have ICMR Emeritus Scientist Program, under which after superannuation, you can continue have your PhD students, your research activities, and you can get some grant and honorarium for you to pursue your interest, area of interest, and also participate in ICMR endeavors. So we provide 30 such emeritus scientists every year. And their tenure is between 3 to 5 years. It is up to them how long they want to continue their activity. So the adjunct faculty, what I said, that we have network of 27 institutes of ICMR. So any of the faculty from different institutes and medical colleges, if they want to collaborate with ICMR and would like to train ICMR scientists in certain expertise they have, they can collaborate and they can be taken as a ICMR adjunct faculty in these institutes. So the different type of, just to give a little background about what ICMR actually, how they fund research activities in different areas of research. So we have divided our research activities, which is extramural research, which is for all over India. We fund to different institutes, universities, NGOs, and even some of the industry. So we have discovery research, development research, delivery research, and descriptive research. So these are the different arms of research where you can put yourself that which area of research you are interested and where you fall. The details are given on the ICMR websites. You can get into the details like the discovery research. If you want to identify a new diagnostics, or you want to explore a new point of care technology, or you want to develop new drug molecules, so you fall under the discovery research. For development research, if you want to develop a kit after identifying, after discovery, you get into the phase of development. So you continue your activity and you want to develop some kits or a device or a new drug in a next stage of development, you can very well fall under this category. And delivery research is the implementation research, which is mainly a translational value that is through the delivery research. And this descriptive research, which is very integral part of any biomedical research, that you should have epidemiological study. We should know that what are the prevalent disease and how the like for diabetes, for tuberculosis, for malaria, and many such infectious and non-infectious diseases. It's very important to know the demographic data plus the how the spread is there in the country and how prevalent it is and how to manage all these problems in the country. You need to have the preliminary data with you to get more and more descriptive to apply when you do clinical trials. You have cohorts in hand so that you know identified cohorts can help you in pursuing clinical research. So ICMR also has an intramural wing of research which is happening at ICMR institutions, and they can collaborate with any institutions. You can also, I mean, the institutions of national interest, they are working in collaboration with them for the national priority areas. So there are a large number of national priority areas been listed by Government of India, and ICMR pursues research in these areas of biomedical research which are importance to nation. So this is how the structure of ICMR. I have already informed you about all kinds of biomedical research ICMR funds. So under extramural research, we have small grants, intermediate grants, and once you establish some skill sets and you have a critical mass at your institute, you can even submit your application for Center for Advanced Research. The journey is of the researcher is like that. You start with a token grant, you lead, get some leads. If you want to pursue the leads further, you can enter into the next stage, getting an intermediate grant, large grant, to get more and more objectivized. And then once you have developed that skills and you have approach for the capacity building and doing a very important research question, you can establish a center for, propose for the Center for Advanced Research. So there are details. I think I'll not go into details of this, and you can very well see this on ICMR websites. You will get more guidelines and details on the ICMR website. With this, I'll end my presentation. Thank you for this opportunity and the patient hearing.
Thank you, Dr. Geeta, for giving an overview about what are all the ICMR funding for the students, postgraduates, undergraduates, and details about the research capacity building starting from undergraduates, postgraduates, and then for a faculty small level travel grants. I think you have given an overview of all the funding which is we can as a student or a medical professional can apply, and some of the grants for non-medical also you highlighted. I think for highlighting the role of ICMR in healthcare research in our country, only thing we should utilize that opportunity because lot of funding is there. I think many times people are not aware or not shown interest. I think we should encourage all the youngsters to go into the website of ICMR and apply as many as funds as possible. Thank you, Madam, for covering that in depth about the funding of the ICMR in healthcare.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your encouraging words for all the student intelligence to actively take part in research. We are always grateful to ICMR for all the initiatives that it takes to encourage research among students. May I ask now to move on to the next plenary session by Dr. Sharan Srinivasan, sir. Thank you.
Hope the technical issue is solved. I think Because sometimes too much of technology also is
ಯಾವ್ದು ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಅದು ಯಾವ್ದ್ರದ್ದು ಅದು ಒನ್ನ
ಲಿಂಕ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಒಚ್ಚಲ್ಲಿ
ಅದು ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇಂದ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು
ఏం ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ చూడండి దాంట్లో వస్తాను చూడండి అది బాగా చూడండి వస్తా ఉంది దీంట్లో
okay, too much of rebooting.
I'm so sorry, apologies to all of you.
I think computer needs a lot of rebooting.
I know. I'm so sorry. I think I made one mistake. They said they were so confident. I came here early just to check this. They said, we just checked. They said, Alex, sir. So I didn't follow through on that to check it on the screen. That was one mistake I did. Banta? Yeah, plug up. It will work now, madam. It's coming on the TV. Here, but when this happens, we say it's a dopamine stage, how this equipment, but I'm not sure what's going on. Banta? Last. How are you? Forceps haki, ella madi. Last, come on, go for it. Appa, this is the best we can do, guys. It's like a cardiac bypass. And the brain bypass we do. Okay. Good afternoon to all of you, and thank you very much, Dr. Professor Vengamma, madam, for patiently waiting with us to get this going, and good afternoon to all of you. So I'm going to take you through a very interesting journey. All of you think neuroscience is very boring. It's not boring at all. So I promise you that I'll take you through a very exciting journey. So I start with this talk by asking you, what is this? And all of you tell me it's a pen. Is eyes telling it's a pen or brain telling it's a pen? So normally 50% says eyes, 50% say brain. The people who say brain are not intelligent. They're saying that because the neurosurgeon is asking the question. Always you see, can't you see with your eyes, can't you see, hear with your ears, that's what we say. Imagine if you are sleeping now, you open the eyelid and show the pen. Do you see the pen? No. Are you blind? No. Why don't you see the pen? Because the eye is on, the brain is off. Is your tongue telling you vanilla ice cream or brain telling you vanilla ice cream? Is your ear telling you Sonu Nigam song or brain telling you Sonu Nigam song? You put your kidney to me, same susu, my kidney to you, same susu, your heart to me, same dub-dub, my heart to you, same dub-dub, the same vanilla flavored activity from the day you're born to the day you die. I'm not degrading any other organ. But your brain to me can't do neurosurgery, my brain to you can't do what you're doing, because this is the only organ in the body which has the common hardware but different software. Please understand that, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go through a science. We know about this. Asatoma Sat Gamaya, Tamasoma Jyotir Gamaya, Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya. Let's go first. Quickly, I'm introducing you to a science called functional neuroscience. The MRI, the CT scans you see today is structural neuroscience. You see a structure that's affected, but not the function. So that's the future. So as I just told you just now, I'm in the hardware business of neurosurgery. What is hardware business? You see here, this is a head injury, there's a clot. There's a CT scan of the head, there's a clot on the right side of the brain. You see that is a clot on the brain, and then I operate him, sorry. Apologies. Then CT scan shows no clot. That means operation successful. It doesn't mean the patient is going to get out conscious, walk, talk, eat, and get back to their work. It's two different things. So please understand, structural healing is not equal to functional outcome. Anywhere more so with the human brain. So guys, let me show you. The world cannot afford disability. With more and more of you, madam was telling me, we don't have a neurosurgeon here, you're referring patients out. By the time the head injury reaches NIMHANS, he's going to be brain dead or half of it is cooked at the end of the day. So how are we going to prevent from just saving lives to treating structural problems to improving the quality of life? Stroke, head injuries, spinal cord problems, Parkinson's, you've heard of all of these things. What do all of these things cause? They cause these things: coma, unconsciousness, wheelchair bound, walking with balance issues, ADL issues, speech swallow issues, seeing writing problems, understanding memory, mental speed problems, so many problems. So WhatsApp is not working, it doesn't mean Facebook will not work. Facebook may still work because there's still different apps in your phone. Similarly, you have different apps in the brain. So guys, all these are because of damages the functional brain and spinal cord circuits and the apps. Breeding from the original IT industry, which is the central nervous system. We come from the Silicon Valley of India, but I'll tell you very proudly, madam will agree with me, we are the original center, Silicon Valley and the original IT industry. So, in acute care, especially in neuroscience, saving life becomes important. Jiva Udili, Amal Nodana. That's the common thing that we say in ICU. But what are the family's expectations? Life plus quality of life. No question of being vegetated lying at home for the next 10, 15 years. Nobody's interested. So we keep talking structure, which means edema is coming down, clot is dissolving, so on and so forth. The family wants function. It's very interesting. Just look at these questions. Whether it's a CEO of a company or beggar on the street, they ask me the same questions. Will my patient survive? Will my patient improve? Will she become normal again? How long will it take? What all do we need to do for that? Is the patient salvageable? These are questions. Do you all agree? This is all you are going to hear from today till you die as a doctor. Same questions. How are we going to deal with these things? Elective cases, same thing. So we go further from here. To answer these questions, this is what we as neuroscientists need to know. What is the situation of the condition of the patient? Is it a stroke, head injury, spinal cord, Parkinson's, current level of functioning, different disabilities, so on and so forth. Lot of data. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Functional Neurosciences. It's the magic of treating the hardware and software together. So now you also heard this time. I don't know how many of you have heard of this phrase, time is brain quantified. When you have a chest pain, you rush a patient to hospital at 2 o'clock in the morning. The same person has a headache at 2 o'clock in the morning. You take a Saridon and don't eat my head. Heart is important, brain is not. Please keep this in mind. So that's why it goes on like this. Look at it. For every second that you don't get blood supply to the brain, 100 billion neurons is what we are estimated to have in all of our heads. You see the amount of damage that happens. For one major vessel ischemic stroke, you have 1.2 billion neurons and so many kilometers, 7,140 kilometers of connections that are lost. So you age by 36 years. Guys, we are seeing stroke in patients as young as 20, 22 years today. So you're not very far away. If your habits are bad, with all the McDonald's and Pepsis and everything else, you may become one more statistic for us. Don't become a statistic. Take care of yourself. Very important. So madam, everybody is speaking about this. VR, AR, MR, robotics, AI, ML, DL, yes? So let me introduce you to one more RR called double R, not triple R, double R, which is reality. As doctors, our patients are real, their suffering is real, our treatments are real, the results are real. So let's go with the first case we have. Let us look at some misbehaving brain circuits. That's my professor with whom I trained in Japan. This is called task-specific focal hand dystonia. Many of you already shared with me that you knew about the story of a patient who was having musician or guitarist dystonia. So this is a guy, a 39-year-old gentleman, IT professional, planning to be a musician, decided to give up his job and then start having this problem. So let us look at this video.
This will become so stiff I cannot bring it on the fretboard. I can't.
He's not paralyzed. Only when he holds the guitar, this happens.
Can you see? I'm trying, but I cannot.
3 fingers misbehaving. Okay? Only when he holds the guitar. It's called guitarist dystonia. So now I fix a frame to his head, 2 screws in the front into his skull, 2 screws at the back into his skull. He's under local anesthesia. He's still excited. Why is he excited? Because he's hoping it's going to get better. So this is him playing the guitar when I am burning a circuit inside the brain. Which circuit am I burning? The ventralis oralis nucleus of the thalamus. You see the fingers are already better. I am 9 centimeters inside his brain, not millimeters. All of you know thalamus. All of you know motor thalamus. How many of you have heard of the ventralis oralis nucleus of the thalamus? I am burning that nucleus. You get a question to pass the exam. Here we are burning the circuit, and this is him. After that, he had problem with typing with the left hand. You see, he starts curling, and on the table, I'm verifying that his typing is fine. All this has to be checked on table. That's why he needs to be awake. The surgeon is awake. I'm 9 centimeters inside his brain. As you can see, that white globule fellow you see is the what I have burned in the brain. You know, the ventralis oralis nucleus. That's him giving his first public performance. Look at the fingers moving. We do have fun also when we operate and do all these things. So this is him after a few years. Look at the finger control right now. So all restored. Next. Seeing this guy, one Bangladeshi guitarist came to me. That fellow, this first fellow was trying to be a guitarist. This fellow was a professional guitarist. He had multitask dystonia. Look at his fingers. So clumsy, like Ashtavakra. He's a professional guitarist 9 hours a day, but he looks as if his left hand is playing guitar for the first time. And on the right hand, if you see, right side of the video, you see that he's not able to make that C very important for a guitarist. Then he's not able to text. He's able to text with the right hand. He's not able to text with the left hand. You see the hand goes into posture. All 5 fingers are affected. Not paralyzed. MRI scan normal. CT scan normal. But he's having this problem only when he does this task. Not able to flip a coin with his left hand. This can happen to any of us. Dystonia. It's called task-specific dystonia. He's able to flip a coin with his right hand. It's the same thing. Same surgery. On table. Checking all the things. So you need to check the circuits as it functions. Very important to understand this and do it on table. So he did this, he did very well. And then this is what we did. The ventralis oralis nucleus of thalamus. The computer is helping me. That's what technology helps. And then the 2 guitarists doing a juggle banding. They become very good friends. So all done 7 years ago, they're still doing very well. They gave a performance together recently. And then this guy is an avid mountaineer climber. 3 months after I did a ventralis oralis thalamotomy, he climbed a 7,000 meter mountain in the Himalayas. Which just shows you that I did not damage any other circuit. That is very critical at the end of the day. This is him 9 months later. Look at his fingers moving. How quickly, look at the dexterity. One of time, let's go forward. Next. So one more task-specific dystonia is called writer's cramp. So they got it while playing guitar. This guy gets it while writing. Studying to be an IAS officer, 26-year-old guy from Delhi. Look at the way he's holding his fingers. It's a little dark. I'm sorry about the quality of the video. But you can see the thumbnail cannot be seen. This is what it is. Now let me show you his videos. This is his video when he was 2 years before the writer's cramp. 1 month before the writer's cramp, on the day of surgery, he could write only half a page. After that, the hand just stops writing. It just doesn't move forwards. It's some strange power stops the hand from moving. So then we did the surgery. Post-surgery, look at his handwriting. His handwriting is better. He's able to write more. And this is him writing. Much more comfortable. He's much better than this. He's back to his life. You can see the way very comfortable, no pain in the hand. So let's go to another location, another nucleus in the thalamus called the VIM. That's the ventralis oralis nucleus of the thalamus. How many of you have heard of VIM? You've heard VIM? VIM nucleus. So let's look at what happens in VIM nucleus. This boy, when he was 9 years old, while crossing the road to go to school, he had a head injury. And for 17 years after that, this boy was left with this disability. A tremor in his right hand as severe as this. For 17 years, he quit school because of this. Can you imagine? Very severe. So this is him on table. That's nice. We hope in the next 2 hours this will stop, Travis. Yes. Let's hope for the best. And hope for the best. This is him 1 day after surgery. He still has some deficit because there's a scar in his thalamus, but he's able to take hand to mouth. There's no tremor. Able to pour water. The bottle he couldn't hold, he's able to pour water, control his movements, able to pick things up, able to wear a shoe. He couldn't wear a lace shoe for a long time. And then look at him holding the bottle of water. He still has a little bit of tremor in some positions, but he's very happy. He's driving a car, he's driving a jeep, he's driving his two-wheeler, he's extraordinarily happy. Let's go to another condition called cervical dystonia. This man is a businessman from Mangalore. He was fine till the age of 50 years. Then he started having these neck movements. All of them have cervical spine. I mean, the MRI normal, CT scan normal. He has this severe problem. Imagine somebody sitting in front of you constantly moving like this. It's very psyching up at the end of the day. And then we did so this guy, I had to target the GPI. How many of you heard of the GPI? The globus pallidus interna. Both the globus pallidus nuclei has externa, interna, externa, interna. So I'm targeting the GPII, which is the globus pallidus interna, interna. So that's how much precisely technology allows me to target, and that's what has happened to him.
I was wondering to see like this and what. I cannot see the device because I can see, but like this, move like this.
So it's 80-90% better. Let's move faster. This is the GPI being targeted, thanks to technology. Now this boy was okay till his age of 17, then developed this cervical dystonia with the neck going back like this. It's so severe, you cannot imagine. You see the right hand side video? The video to your right. Father is going to release his head just now and see how the head goes back. Imagine his mother has to be with him 24/7, take him to the bathroom, clean him up, hold his head, feed him. Can you imagine the caregiver burden? He's not going to die. He's going to remain like this for the next 20, 30, 40 years. He's very desperate at the end of the day. Did a bilateral GPA. I had to look at him trying to drink water. So fundamental human rights issues. Just look at him. Fathers hold the head and he shakes like this. Just to drink water. Can you imagine? He's not able to release the bottle. See, the bottle is stuck to his hand. The father has to hold the bottle. Father holds the bottle, only then he can release his hand. Then he releases. Then he has to use his right hand to lift up his left hand. And then try to hold the bottle. Father is adjusting it. Can you imagine how? And then he tries to drink the water. So he's lifting it with both hands. And then he goes into the same shake again, in spite of head being held. I had to give a GA and then wake him up under anesthesia to get the feedback. So we're doing all this under GA but awake. And then this is him. Bilateral GPI pallidotomy. First, second day after surgery, at least head is able to stand stably. We did rehab. This is him. Slowly getting better. He's about 50-60% better. And then if you see his videos now, look at him reaching out to the bottle. That is able to manage himself, go to the field, supervise some people. He can't really do much work, but he's able to do so much. Mother has got her release from her caregiver burden. He still has some lot of attacks because of cerebral atrophy. Cervical dystonia. He was a medical manager in a medical pharmaceutical company. He had to leave his job because of this. He had this for 10 years. This is him after surgery. Again, he's 60-70% better. He's able to watch a cricket match without turning his head like this. He's very happy for that. Look at him watching, putting his hand up and watching a cricket match. That's all they want to do. They're not looking at, conquering the world, but basic things like this. Let's move next. This girl had cervical hemidystonia. She's done a BA English from Varanasi. She's fine as long as she's sitting. The moment she stands, some strange power is pulling her down. She walks like this with the head bent down. It's called hemidystonia. Then fix that hemidystonia with the GPI, and then this is her. She still has some dystonia in the right foot, but otherwise she is much better. She just got engaged a few weeks ago. Next, all of you know Parkinson's disease. So let's move to Parkinson's disease now. So this guy had one-side Parkinson's disease, tremor with bradykinesia, with what we call as drug-induced dyskinesia. He has tremor in both his hand and leg. His on period is only about 45 minutes to 1 hour before the dyskinesia set in. So he had to go to the bank, do his work, do his chores. Just before the dyskinesia set in, you can see the tremor in his leg also. I fixed it. He couldn't walk backwards before surgery. He's walking backwards now. This is in rehab. He was a retired man, so you want to read the newspaper without your hand shaking. So he's able to read the newspaper without his hand shaking. He could not button himself. He's able to button himself now, adjust his shirt. All basic things. And then this is him. He's been 6-7 years now after surgery. He's still doing very well. Travels the bus by himself. KSRTC bus, goes to his daughter's house in Mysore, comes back. Incredible quality of life. So let us look at this lady. She had severe tremors for 7 years. Parkinson's disease, predominantly tremor, hand and leg. She would not remove the glass bangle and it would make noise, and then there was a big fight at home. Didn't stop with any medication. So now watch this video. I'm lesioning the VIM nucleus of the thalamus. Just watch the hand shaking. Just keep watching. Keep watching her hand. Stop. You see? It's dramatic. It's like a switch on, switch off, switch in the brain. That's how this is all real. This is not VR, AR, MR. This is RR. Real stuff going on. And this is her post-surgery. No tremors. Next. This is after 2 years. I only fixed one side. The other side still she has a little bit of tremor, but she is fine. She doesn't care about that. She says, Doc, I'm fine. Doctor. If she walks on, if she lifts the hand down, there's no resting tremor, there's no anxiety tremor, nothing. Now the question is, can we do bilateral lesioning? You know, can I burn both sides of the brain? I showed you one, I'll show you another in Parkinson's disease. Is it safe? Is it possible? Can it be done? How are the results? So let me show the first time in India we did bilateral lesioning. Recently it used to be done in the past, but then it has been stopped. So this guy has a classical Parkinson's disease. You know, you look at him, sorry. You look at him, you know, short shuffling gait, no arm swing or walking, mask-like face, tremors left more than right. He wanted me to fix the left side first. This was pre-June 2019, so I did a right pallidotomy. So this is him 18 months out of the pallidotomy. Look at his walking. His walking is improved, his arm swing is improved, his confidence is improved. No tremor in the left hand, tremor in the right hand, no tremor in the left hand. Tremor in the right hand, no tremor in the left hand. That means the right side, the lesion for the left side has worked. Then he came to me between the first and second waves of the COVID pandemic and said, Doc, fix the other side. I want to get back to work. So I fixed the other side. And this is 1 month after that, we did something called a pallidothalamic tractotomy. How many of you have heard the field of 4L-H1-H2? Have you heard of field of 4L-H1-H2? It's called the cauda zona incerta. That's where I'm targeting. For this is called the PTT, the pallidothalamic tract, the area of 4L-H1-H2. Look at him walking, look at his confidence. It's just incredible what is possible when you fix the circuits in the brain. And this is him gone back to his job of tailoring. Arm movement, leg movement, control, all those is going on. That's how it is. Next, this is him walking. Look at the gait, first gait you remember, look at him, arm swing. You can't even believe he's a PD patient. And then he's working in Victoria Hospital as an attendant there, even in a high stress situation. You see there's no hand. Some of the PD patients start shaking like this the moment they're in an anxious situation. That's not happening. Does every PD qualify for surgery? No, there's a lot of process happening by movement disorder neurologists. These are all cheap surgeries because in India, we cannot afford to put pacemakers in the brain for every patient because they're very expensive. So this is what is the pacemaker thing. This man had PD, classical offstage, bradykinesia, stooping posture, rigidity, short shuffling gait, mask-like face, so on and so forth. And then this he has, after a few years of syndopa, he developed what is called drug-induced dyskinesia. It's like a bee in the bonnet. Look at him, he gets up, he's constantly wobbling like this. This is a medicine side effect. So you can't step up the medicine. Imagine he's either North Pole or South Pole. You know, it's not both at the end of the day. Did a pacemaker inside him. So this is an STN DBS. You know STN nucleus? A subthalamic nucleus. So one more nucleus in the basal ganglionic region, you do that and they do well. I'm not curing Parkinson's disease, please remember, we're only managing the motor symptoms of Parkinson's disease. The disease progresses the way it progresses, as long as the motor symptoms are predominant, they do well. So let's shift gears, part 2, spasticity. Many of you know spasticity. What is spasticity? The patients look like this. Look at this picture. It's the bugbear of all neurologists, neurosurgeons, and rehab physicians across the world, starting with cerebral palsy, all the way till you die. You can have this spasticity. Spasticity is like trying to drive the car with the handbrakes on. So you can see all these patients, all this is spasticity. This is post-stroke spasticity, and this is cerebral palsy, spasticity secondary to cerebral palsy. So we fix that in different ways. One of the things I'm going to show you is putting a device inside his spinal cord called intrathecal baclofen pump. So this is for spasticity. This boy had severe head injury. He was unconscious for 3.5 months. Before the trial, this is how tight he was. He was 35 kilos. He was on a tracheostomy, deeply unconscious. He was written off as going to remain vegetative. The trial became positive. We checked under anesthesia what good is going to do. Once we figured this out, we put up the pump. About 3 months after that, he woke up, started doing well, on tracheostomy talking, and then started playing chess. His left side improved better than the right side. Right side is still having some TCDs. But look at him, celebrating his birthday. He's cutting his cake with his left hand. He's able to change channels with his left hand. Look at the remote control. He's able to leave the remote carefully on his thigh without leaving it down, without making it fall. Then he's able to leave the remote and then manipulate it, leave it, pick up one chip in his left hand and put it in his mouth. It all looks so easy for us, but you don't know how difficult it is. He's able to do, he's able to talk. But what's more important is language. Look at this, he's so good. Sorry. Look at his WhatsApp. Even his emojis are fine, his language is fine, his grammar is fine. It's just amazing. Somebody who was deeply unconscious, left at vegetative, has gone to this level of function recovery. Look at this. It's incredible what is possible. So that's how it goes. So much is possible. Now let's go to this guy. Is a patient from Yemen. He had a gunshot injury to the brain and the spinal cord. He's got 2 bullets left in his cerebellum. And post that, for the next 7 years before he saw me, 5 years before he saw me, he had this problem. Spasticity in his 3 limbs. Right upper limb and both lower limbs, only left upper limb was normal. Look at my assistant is just lifting his right upper limb. See what happens to him. He just lifts the right hand up. Entire body goes into clonus. This is not tremors. This is spontaneous clonus because of severe spasticity. He is in severe pain. He is agitated. He is just distressed by this whole process. And then he has to hit his leg like this to stop it from shaking. This is how he was. He couldn't turn in bed. He couldn't go to the bathroom. He could only use his left hand. I put a pump. This is just after we reversed it from anesthesia. Look at him on the left side. I touched the leg. There's no clonus. Just after anesthesia. Not in the 10 micrograms has gone in. His left toe starts moving. He's showing me that. You see the left side video? The foot moves. Just a few toe movements. Just look at it. See that? That's all. He's excited because of that one small toe is moving after 7 years. And just look at him now. He's giving me a big hug and kiss. This is the dasha of being a doctor. What Ramakrishna Prasad said in the morning, your principal said in the morning, this is being a doctor. No money can give you this. Money is only a byproduct of what you do. We went through rehab. It was a very painful process for all of us. It was not easy. See, he's saying 7 months, 7 years, I'm not moved. We're doing Google translation to get this data from Arabic to English. 15 days, still with a catheter, struggling to walk. This is him now. Okay, give us 5. Come on. 5. Come. Managing by himself. Doing a treadmill, walking even without a stick, and things like that. Then we go legs. This guy had transverse myelitis. After recovery from immunotherapy and all of that, he had this problem. He had difficulty in walking because of severe spasticity. Oral tablets didn't work. He was a taxi driver, post-intrathecal baclofen. He's able to drive a taxi, drive a 2-wheeler, sit on the ground, and manage himself. Imagine sitting on the ground is difficult even for the normal people. He's able to do that. You see that? Sitting down. A guy who could not walk because of spasticity is able to sit down, get up. It's all been 4 or 5 years since we've done all this. During pandemic, his pump got empty. He asked me, am I dependent? This is spontaneous clonus that you're seeing his leg. The pump is empty. You can see his leg shaking, spontaneous clonus. And you see the lower video, the clonus is gone 95%. The difference of time between these two videos is 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes. That's it. So guys, let's go next. This lady had a fall at home, obese lady. She had dorsal cord injury, paraplegia. We did surgery. She got stuck. She's not able to get out of bed. Severe spasticity and pain. Put a pump. Slowly started getting better. And then she's now back to her work. She still needs a stick, but she's able to cook. She's able to climb stairs, get out of her car, and walk in the street near her house. That's what they all want. The human brain is still an old-fashioned wired model. Please remember this, it's not Wi-Fi enabled. So even if Google Sundar Pichai's son is weak in mathematics, Google cannot do anything about it. He still needs mathematics tuition. Please remember this. So no magic can happen. You have to constantly wire the circuits of the brain, and only then it's going to work. Nothing else is going to happen. It's not Wi-Fi enabled, like I said. So brain function test, we have designed brain function test. This is the science we have called the CARE-PA framework. We have a patent for that. We have applied for an international patent. This is an international patent pending for us that we have global patent. This is the American patent we have applied in 2022. It's in the last stages of being this one. These are the four patent pending that we have on different aspects, including technology. So let's shift. So it's all about doing multidisciplinary, working together, not together separately. Otherwise, the right hand will not know what the left hand is doing. So apps in the brain is like brain maps. So I'll show you a few videos on head injury. So, you know, a lot of people, I was telling Dr. Vikas, he should run a campaign on to wear a helmet. Most people don't wear a helmet. You know, they ask you why, they say, mind your business. So I tell them, you are my business. So if he doesn't mind his head, then we mind our business. This is how he is. 2 months after head injury, he was going to college. You know, he's a right hemiparesis, hardly any speech.
You want to go out? No. You want gulab jamun? Jamun? You want jamun?
This is how he was. Took 5 months to reach the stage. He's walking on a footpath in Indore. That's his hometown. This is him giving a testimonial.
Hello, doctors. Thank you so much for healing me. I couldn't express my feelings I have for you guys. Thank you.
And then he's still riding his bike, giving a demonstration without a helmet. I said, I'm going to sell you a lifelong, package. Is it normal? Not so much. He still has some, small communication issues. Look at this girl. 18-year-old girl came to Bangalore for a holiday, went with her cousin to Nandi Hills, had an accident, didn't have a helmet and the pillion, because many people think pillions don't need helmet. They get more worstly injured. We have done a one-side craniotomy. You can see one side skull is not seen. The skull is in her abdominal wall. We take it off as a part of decompressive craniotomy. That's how she is. It looks like a science fiction movie. She's not opening her eyes. She's slowly getting better. This is how she looks. Then over time, slowly woke up, slowly started getting to sit up. Then we put the bone back. We did a cranioplasty. This is slowly, she still has tracheostomy, feeding tubes. And then she goes here. She's trying to communicate, no voice. She had voice-related issues. She's trying to communicate by writing. Her left side improved better than right side. She had both sides of the brain damage. And then she went back to, this is 5 to 6 months of rehab. She was able to stand and shake a little bit like this. So then she started talking, retraining her how to eat, retraining her how to use the toothbrush, toothpaste. Everything has to be retrained. All the circuits of the brain has to be rebuilt meticulously. It doesn't happen like that. If there's no USB port in your head, then I can just remove the old software, put a new software, and bingo, you can get up and go. Nothing like that happens. Happens only in movies. This is after 6 to 8 months of meticulous work. She's still needing struggle to stand and walk. Then how is she now? This is how she is now. This is in her house in Mumbai. She's able to climb the stairs by herself. She's back to a social media course. And then she's able to eat by herself. She's able to turn in bed, both sides to show. Imagine if you have a corner bed to one side of the wall, how will they manage all these things? So these are very important things. This is her trying to wear a t-shirt by herself. She still has a little bit of weakness in the right hand, so she started writing with the left hand. So we made her a left-hander, and she's able to function right now. And then she used to make TikTok videos before the injury. So this is the first TikTok video after she recovered.
अब मुझे जाना होगा।
और जाना।
तुम समझती क्यों नहीं अगर मैं यहाँ रुका तो
क्या?
तो वहाँ भंडारा खत्म हो जाएगा।
This is how it goes. This is her doing that after she recovered. Same dress before the head injury. This is how Vidhi looked in the same class. This is how it is. So this guy had a cerebellar, infarct. He was deeply unconscious. Operated. Took 2 months to come out of unconsciousness. This is him climbing the Chamundi Betta. Operated, rehab, all of that done. You don't even see any cerebellar signs. You see that? It's so plastic the human brain is. It's amazing what's possible. This lady had bilateral intraventricular hemorrhages. We did bilateral burr for her. Took 2.5 months to wake up. You can see in the next video, you can see the burr. Slowly started waking up. The family didn't want her to do too much. If she wakes up and does her work, that's how she got better. And now you see her, she's making chapatis at home. She still walks with a walker, but she's making chapatis at home. So family is happy with this outcome. So spinal cord injury, this lady had TB of the spine at the C7 T1 level, C7 C8 T1 level. She was paraplegic from T1 downwards with distal upper limb weakness. Post surgery, I decompressed, fixed the spine. It took her so many months to try to walk. She got better. 6 months of rehab. From a walker, she came to bilateral stick. From bilateral stick, she came to this. Walking without a stick. She's still very apprehensive. She's not sure about her balance. And about 20 months of rehab, that's how she is. This guy had a last set of videos before I close. This guy had a post-cardiac arrest. He's a bank manager. He had a cardiac arrest in his house, revived. They put a pacemaker, and then he had this problem. He had a problem with the visual cortex. All of you know this. Eyesight doesn't mean vision. And all of you know this. You have I'm not sure whether they've taught you all this in anatomy. You have something called the visual association areas, V2, V3, V4, V5. You have the posterior association area. We have the anterior association area. They're called the association areas where interpretation happens of the stimuli that's coming in from all the sense organs. Now this guy, look at him. He doesn't remember his wife's name.
Your name is Rita.
Wife's name is Shanti, calls her Rita.
You are Rita. You are Shanti. You are Rita.
Yo, Rita, he's saying Rita.
You are Rita.
He looks fine. He was admitted to the hospital. He went to the nurse's counter and started ordering, I want 10 butter naan, paneer butter masala, vegetable curry and all that. She thought it was a resort he was staying in. So he went to order food for all his guests who are supposed to be coming. So we have to tell the nurse he's having a problem in processing information. Others walking around. One day he wanted to drink water in the morning at home. He disappeared, and then wife found him in the bathroom with a cup trying to remove water from the WC. He thought that water was to drink. So all these things can happen. No MRI scan will tell you all these things. You have to test him out. Look at him trying to find 1 to 23, bank manager. After 1, we are asking him to show 2, and he's searching for 2.
No, after 1, 2. 2 is here.
After 1, 2.
After 2?
After 1, 2.
Mm.
After 2,
Mm.
this is
No, after 2, what is there? What number comes?
3.
Yeah, where is it?
This is 3, no?
This is not 3. This is 4.
4.
Huh.
4.
So after 2 is 3. Show me 3.
After 2 is 3.
Mm.
Okay.
Show me 3.
23 here. No? 23 here.
No AI, no computer, nothing will tell you all these things. We have to meticulously sit with the patients patiently and figure out this circuit by circuit. I'm going forward for want of time.
That is 2 plus 2.
What is 2 plus 2? Bank manager.
2.
How much is it?
14.
2 plus 2, 14.
2 plus 2.
2 plus 2 is?
14.
14. This is what he is saying. 2 plus 2, 14. So he's adding there, same thing. He's adding, this is the middle video you see. He's adding 2 plus 2, 14. Nice, he's adding 14. Think about it. Bank manager all his life. He forgot the color of his hair, color of this. I'm going to go forward with all this. So I'm going to, the last set, we have built our own software to map the brain circuits. It's called Neurologics. So everybody started talking about technologies. I'm going to show you what technology. Another 5 minutes, madam. I'm done. This is the award I got for the software that we have built. Not award, the competition. I'm not going to show you the software, but we have built these devices. Look at this device for balance. This is the software we have built ground up from the PCB. We have built it locally. You see, you can pick up what you want, exercise, shoulder flexion, shoulder extension, right hip, left hip, elbow, whatever it is, you pick it up, you write, feed what you want, information, and then, you see this? All this is built by us, in-house. We have a technology team We have a technology company. You see he's doing that. You can see the line diagrams there. You can see in 360 degrees. Then he will edit. You can rotate the videos. You see the 360 degree. I capture the video once and see what's going on. And then this is for the face. To track facial palsy, eyeball movements. We can do all of those things with this software. And then this is called BrainPad. I'll show you how it works. It has all these things well done. This is for hand tracking movements. We're trying to see what's going on here. So this is for cognition, vision, communication games. We have a 3x3 matrix where you can select the toothpaste, spoon, fork, online. This is tele rehabilitation going on like this. It's all RFID enabled. You can keep it there, you know what's happening. So much is possible to do. It's all being done by us, healthcare professionals. And then these are games. I'm going to skip all this. This is VR AR, hand tracking with VR goggles. We can do this. We can play the games. You can pick up objects and keep it there and know what's going on. So we have a single tracking node. These are our reports. The benefits is data-driven decision making, adaptive interventions. We have predictive analytics, optimized rehabilitation, automated reporting, centralized data platform, interactive technologies, which makes rehabilitation fun. And then continuous development, data-driven insights, and then you can do all these things. And then the success is great. This is our book. Don't forget to buy a book. It's available in the store. We're having an Amazon sale going on 29th of this one, for the online Kindle book. And so remember, summary, functional neuroscience is a very complex process that very few understand. The CNS is still an old-fashioned wired model and nowhere close to becoming Wi-Fi enabled. It's a marathon race and not a 100-meter race. Consistency, multidisciplinary, transdisciplinary approach is a must. Progress, prognosis, and outcomes, very difficult to predict. If done well, you see magical results. And what am I trying to convey? It's the last frontier to be explored. More than the space, we have to figure out our human brain first, most important. One space has its own system, but we have patients suffering every single day that we have to deal with this. Only system with hardware, software, individual software, programs, folders, and files. Restoring data on a crashed hard disk without any backup information on any smart device today is still impossible, but it's possible with the human brain. And then the journey from coma to community or caught to community is a complex marathon race with no clear finish line. And then the first time in India, we have made a web series. All of you have heard of the movie Beja Fry? Beja Fry. You haven't heard? There's a movie called Beja Fry. So that is a fried Beja. Now we have a web series called Beja Unfry because we are unfrying the Beja. So guys, just one small video on this and then we close. We have famous actors and actresses on this.
Never going to be a neurosurgeon.
He's an ENT surgeon who's played my role in the web series.
And he challenged you to perform a surgery to treat someone who was practically untreatable. Since that day, I've been wanting to know what happened.
The thing is, your brain needs to be rebooted. Bro, helmet hakkole.
Hey, mind your own business.
You are my business. So, Malwari, instead of scrubbing and assisting the surgery, we're more interested in taking.
This is my same guitar surgeon who played his own role here.
He works for our hospital, but he operates on our patients and other hospitals. I want him suspended.
Very famous Kannada film actress Sudha Rani. This is Rakesh Bedi.
We are not here to treat the insecurities, stupid egos of certain doctors.
The patient was brought in by the police without any attender. Unknown was found bleeding on the road. It's definitely a case of hit and run, sir.
As a life-saving measure, I am signing the consent and taking full responsibility.
Go to the court to give evidence.
Doctors like Dr. Sharan falsely increase the disability percentage and take a handsome cut from the poor family. In fact, he should be tried for being a fraud.
You in my chamber now.
So how about I give you a little challenge so that the surgery can be funded? To prove that your clinics work on real hardcore diseases. I accept your challenge, sir.
It's a brain fungus case I operated during the peak of the second wave of the pandemic.
The case.
Yes, I want to know. You know about it?
I know everything about it.
The COVID stuff we had at that time, and the many deaths we had in the ICU, some of our colleagues, all based on our real story.
What is true, that paper?
But I didn't know that Dr. Shan's kid has that paper.
I have to stop this. You're getting me point. I have to. I said, fix up everything.
Neurologics. That's what we should call it.
He's a very famous stand-up comedian, Dr. Jagdish Chaturvedi. Oh, he's coming today evening. Ah, you can catch him. He's there today. So, ladies and gentlemen, Beja and try. This is what happens when you have a head injury. Not as simple as that, but it's dramatic. That's all, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sharan Srinivas. That was a wonderful talk, and I think with all your experience in the functional neurosurgery, all interesting cases you have shown, starting from dystonia, tremors, Parkinsonism, and the complex neurological surgeries from head injury to all other details, and highlighting the importance of structural imaging versus functional importance of rehabilitation. I think you have really taken up for all the upcoming field. What is required is neuro rehabilitation, where lot of technology can be definitely put into it to improve the quality of life.
Absolutely.
Like starting now with the virtual physiotherapy, stroke patients, lot of things with the recent advances with the brain interface, computer brain interface. I think you can do lot. That's the idea for a new younger generation to take it. I once again congratulate you for all the wonderful work. I think out of 800 cases which you have operated, so many, quite a much you have shown. It really shows how much passion you have towards this.
I want to be a neurosurgeon from 8th standard, madam. I'm living my dream.
Yeah, good. Because this functional neurosurgery is one of the subspecialty of neurosurgery. After neurosurgery, stereotactic, and then the functional neurosurgery, identifying specific targets for each disease. But that's more important. Planning is more important. If you don't plan properly, then all these wonderful results will not be there. I think whatever the meticulous planning, anatomy and patient symptoms before you plan for the surgery, then the results will.
Yes, I agree.
Congratulations. All the best for your research.
Thank you.
It's the second time I'm hearing your talk. First time I heard
yes,
it.
I know.
It was very nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the inspiring plenary session on the rebooting surgery and the functional neurosciences. Your innovative speech as the guitar surgeon, especially in treating guitarist dystonia and managing tremors, reshaped our perspective on the creativity in medicine. The videos showcasing your patient's transformations were both engaging and informative. Your resilience in overcoming the technical difficulties further taught us the adaptability essential in surgery and life. Sir, may I ask now Dr. Vengamma, Vice Chancellor, Sri Devaraja's Academy of Higher Education, to kindly present the token of appreciation to Dr. Sharan Srinivasan, sir. May we ask Dr. Geeta Jotwani ma'am to join us on the dais. May we ask Dr. Prabhakar, Faculty of Medicine, Dean, Faculty of Medicine, to join us to award the token of appreciation to Dr. Geeta Jotwani ma'am. May we request Dr. Kalyani ma'am, Director RNI, to award the token of appreciation for the chairpersons, Dr. Vengamma, thank you for all the dignitaries joining us today. We request the lunch has been arranged in the outside the SDFC building for all the delegates. We request all of you to complete your lunch and join as soon as possible. By 2:30, we'll be starting the quiz prelims. I request all the dignitaries to join us for the lunch at the BC Roy Hall.
Take your time.
I'm not sure that I can have lunch. Ayyo, my situation. ಹೌದಾ ಕೇಬಲ್ ತಗೋ ಶೇಖರಾಗಿ ತೆಗೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇದು ಕೊಡು ಇದು ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ತೆಗಿಬೇಡ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ ತಗೋ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ HDMI ಕೇಬಲ್ ಲೈವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಂಗ್ ಅದಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸರ್ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಐತೆ ಲೈವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಂಗ್ ಹೌದಾ ಅಸಲು ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇದು ಲೈವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನನಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ
ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ನಾಳೆ ಚಿನ್ನಮ್ಮ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ
ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ದೊಡ್ಡದು
ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ
ಚಿಕ್ಕದೇನೆ ದೊಡ್ಡದಪ್ಪ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾಯಿಂದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಂಗ್ಗೆ
ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀನು ಕಾರ್ಡ್ಲೆಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ
ನೋಡು ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನೋಡು ನಾನು ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡೋಣ ಇದು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು ಆಟ ಆಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ
ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದ್ರೇನಾ
ಇವಾಗ ಇದನ್ನ ಚಿಕ್ಕದೇ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಮ್ಮ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗ್ತದೆ. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗೈತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ.
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗೈತೆ ನಾನು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಹೌದಾ? ಅದೇ ಶೇಖರ್ ಅದಲ್ಲ ಅದು ನೋಡ್ಕೊ. ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು ನೋಡ್ಕೊ. ಹಾಕು. ಈಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು.
ರಾಮಾಯಣ ನಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋರೇ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಿದು. ನಂಗೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಗೋಬಿ ಸ್ಟುಡಿಯೋ
ನೋಡ್ರ
ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಾಮಾಯಣ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಚಿಕ್ಕಣ್ಣ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗೈತಾ ಇದು
ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೂಪ್. ಇದು ಲೂಪ್. ಇದು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಔಟ್ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಿನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ, ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ಇದನ್ನ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ.
ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾದಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು? ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಆನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಬರ್ತೈತೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಇದು ಬರ್ತದೆ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್. ಅವ್ರ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಬರ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಮ್ಮ ಇದು.
ಇಷ್ಟೇ. ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಕಾರ್ಡ್ಲೆಸ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕೋಬಹುದು.
ಇದು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ. ಮತ್ತೆ ತಲೆನೋವು ಬೇಡ.
ಲಿಂಕ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇದೆಯಾ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ?
ಈಗ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಹೇಳ?
ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಪ್ರಜೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟದ ನನ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ರದ.
ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಸೋರ್ಸ್
ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಇವಾಗ ಅದು. ಅಲ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಸೇಮ್. ಓಕೆ
ಅದೇ ಬಿಡು ಸ್ಟಿಲ್. ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಅದೇ ಇರಲಿ.
ಅದು ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೋ. ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳೋದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಹೇಳೋದು ನನಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊ.